Remember, the 5th of November. It all comes down to the number 5 in Alan Moore and David Lloyd's V for Vendetta, which tells the story of an anarchist named V who tries to destroy a totalitarian state. Decades after the publication of the comic, a movie adaptation was made, which seems to have overtaken the original work in popularity. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to analyze V through the comic only, as I think it best portrays the character. As mentioned, the comic depicts an England ruled by a fascist totalitarian regime that reinforces its power by issuing propaganda. Departments within this oppressive government have their own responsibilities to maintain the state's power. Basically, V sets out to dismantle this tyrannical government and replace it with anarchy, or as he would say, the land of do as you please. So let me talk about V and his dark past. Easily one of Alan Moore's most bizarre and eccentric characters, V is an anarchist/anti-hero who stops at nothing to achieve his goal of global rebirth. Regularly referencing poets, artists, and revolutionaries, V represents culture and art in a decaying world. This can be seen through the Shadow Gallery, V's base of operations. The gallery houses numerous pieces of art, literature, and instruments, a reminder that culture cannot be allowed to die. The location of the Shadow Gallery is never revealed, which contributes to the mysterious vibe that surrounds V. The iconic mask that V wears is a reference to Guy Fawkes, a key organizer of the failed gunpowder plot of 1605, which was an attempt to kill King James I. By referencing the gunpowder plot, Alan Moore implies that V is using his anarchy-based philosophy to enact political change. Although his intentions are arguably noble, V is still a terrorist. That being said, Moore leaves it up to the reader to decide whether he is more of a hero or more of a villain. V is the Roman numeral for 5. To understand why V chose this name for himself, we first need to learn his backstory. It's left somewhat ambiguous, but basically V was captured by government scientists and treated as a lab rat. They pumped him with a chemical called Batch 5, which caused him to have a mental breakdown. Also, he was locked in a room called Room 5, marked with a V-shaped Roman numeral. Later, V escaped the facility and created a new identity for himself. Just like Red Hood, who adopted the former name of his killer, V decided to truly own and accept his past. V's dark origin story is an example of trauma shaping later behavior. Another way to understand V is through Evie, a young woman he rescued and took under his wing to become his protege. While she does have her moments of assertion and insight, she generally lacks agency, allowing herself to be psychologically tortured by V. Yeah, that happens. Over the course of the story, V teaches Evie about different intellectual and philosophical ideas, hoping to have her fully commit to his cause. While V doesn't seem to have any superpowers and is generally thought of as human, he is extraordinarily clever and has prepared for nearly every situation he could potentially find himself in, kind of like Batman. Additionally, V is a master of martial arts, being able to subdue nearly any opponent he faces. V for Vendetta is filled to the brim with metaphors and symbols. Let's start with the roses. In the comic, roses symbolize death, as V gives one to each of his victims before he kills them. It's almost as if V is offering them as some sort of romantic gesture, which is kind of funny. A rose is a traditional symbol, as it's a common everyday object that has been assigned meaning. TV and radio is another symbol in the book, representing the rise in mass media as well as control. The final symbol I should mention is the mask. V uses two very similar Guy Fawkes masks, one with a closed mouth smile and the other with an open mouth one. He tells Evie that anarchy wears two faces, the destroyer and the creator. By wearing two distinct masks, V reinforces this claim. Next to Watchmen and a handful of others, V for Vendetta is one of my favorite comic books. The book is a compact and engaging breakdown of fascism versus anarchy, and how life is just a vicious cabaret. V is many things: an anti-hero, an anarchist, a terrorist, a performer, a visionary, but above all, he is a symbol for resistance. He is a symbol for liberty. He is a symbol for the land of do as you please. Thanks for watching, and take care.